Hello and welcome. I am Ben the Bold, and this is Mount Etna, the tallest point in Sicily. Now, a couple of years ago, I had a series in Imperator Rome where I created a really tall Sicily. I had a lot of fun in that, and if you enjoy Imperator Rome, I do encourage you to still go check it out. I know that game is kind of dead at this point, but it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with it, and it was fun to create. And really, I would like to do something similar here. It's been a while since I've created content. I very much enjoy it. I just also have life and everything. But I really wanted to sit down and play a Victoria 3 campaign, and I thought, you know what, why not record it? After all, that kind of gives me a little bit of added motivation to actually, quote-unquote, finish a campaign. So I decided, you know what, why not go back to where it all started? Why not go back to Sicily, specifically tall Sicily with Mount Etna, and in this case in Victoria 3, tall 2 Sicilies? Tall, Italy? As much as you can play tall. I feel like this game is a little different, is very different than Imperator Rome, which was so focused on expansion, and I really just wanted to see if you could kind of dominate the game playing tall. And honestly, I did. It was so much fun, and I want to do something similar. My plans for this playthrough are to industrialize 2 Sicilies, of course, create a large market, create Italy, and maybe do some expansion, especially in the Balkans, maybe into North Africa, maybe follow the historical route of the Italians, despite whether or not they had any success doing that. I'm not really sure. The other thing that I really wanted to do with this campaign is play it much more as a role-playing campaign, so I am the king of 2 Sicilies, or we are the king of 2 Sicilies, Fernando. He's not well liked, but that's because he has the imperious trait, which also gives us a lot of good modifiers. So minus 25% decree cost, 20% less radicals from standing of living decreases, 20% or 10% more loyalists from standing of living increases. So this is all good stuff, with the exception of the he's disliked. So that's not great, but it is what it is. We're going to start out by going mass communication, just to kind of get us caught up on some of the society tech, also get us closer to nationalism. I have not played an Italy playthrough in the 1.5 update of version of the game, which means I have not united Italy using the new method of uniting Italy with the journal entry that you get after completing nationalism. So I'm very excited to do that. I'm very excited to try that. I definitely won't be min-maxing it because I don't know how. And I haven't done it before. So let's go ahead and get introduced to our country. Here we have Calabria, which is going to be our industrial base. Our largest city is Naples. I do think that it can be a real manufacturing hub, although it doesn't necessarily have the resources, so it is going to struggle with local prices for quite a while until we get that mappy up. So I will be looking for technologies that do that, such as the stock exchange, really soon as well. And then, of course, oh dear Sicily, take a look at that. Sicilian sulfur deposits, 20% sulfur mine throughput, and if you take a look in our buildings, we actually have the #1 most profitable sulfur mine in the world, which honestly, at this stage in the game, isn't going to mean that much, but eventually we are going to sell sulfur to the world and really allow them to fuel their both manufacturing but also military industries. With that said, let's go ahead and before I unpause the game, let's go ahead, take a look at the politics. There aren't really any laws that I want to pass. I'm not super worried about colonial exploitation yet. And if I pass it now, it's just going to make the rural folk mad at me. Now, they are radicalized, marginalized, so that really isn't that big of a deal. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and press it because maybe we'll get some cool events from it. I would love the popular playwright event. That would be spectacular. I'm also going to go ahead and increase our taxes as well as change our consumption taxes. Specifically, I'm going to go ahead and do services as well as, let's just do porcelain for now. So I've got plenty of authority left. Let's go ahead and add some decrees. I'm going to do road maintenance everywhere, and then I'm going to encourage the resource industry as well as the manufacturing industry. And I think that's all I need for now. Our buildings, I did go ahead and give them a look through. Upgrading to wrought iron tools would be good, except I have no iron, so I'm going to need to look to remedy that. I also would love to go ahead and go to gas streetlights, but I have no coal either. So without any further ado, let's fix that problem. I'm going to start by just putting 2 construction sectors in Calabria, and then I am going to go ahead and build an iron mine, a logging camp, and a coal mine. And then honestly, I'm going to go ahead and just build, let's actually just say 2 logging mines, and let's go all the way up to 5 iron mains. That should be a decent way to start my industry going, and let's unpause. I have not done any kind of diplomacy. Let's go ahead and do that. Specifically, let's improve some relations with France and England. I am going to go ahead and declare a rivalry. My rival is going to be Spain, yep. And then I'm going to also improve relations with Russia and the Papal States. Oh, Spain also declared me as a rival, so that's fine. Colonial exploitation is progressing nicely, although, again, I'm not really looking to colonize right away. I don't have a super large population, so colonization would be tremendously slow anyway. It could be a good way for me just to get some... I mean, it could be a way for me to get some population, but I think right now I'm going to focus much of my attention right here in the Italian peninsula, and I'll worry about colonizing later. Let's see, will anyone join my customs union? No, but how far would we... Alright, so the papal rank of minor power compared to my rank of minor power. Alright, so I need to become a major power. We are the 17th power in the world, so that's pretty good. Colonial enthusiasm, alright, well, yeah, sure, we'll just have that pass a little bit faster. Colonial exploitation moved another phase, I guess. Good stuff, good stuff. Our construction is moving along nicely. Once these 5 iron mines finish, I'm going to change my construction industry in from wooden buildings to iron frame buildings. I think that is really an important thing to do pretty quickly. I also am going to build a tooling workshop here in Calabria. Alright, so we have the new law. That's great. Anything else we want to pass? No, definitely don't want to go backwards to serfdom. As much as my king is a landowner and the landowners would love that, I just don't think that is what I have any interest in doing. Let's go ahead and meet some of our friends on the Italian peninsula. We have the Papal States. They have 2 million people in their country, and their GDP is significantly lower than ours. And they have a much smaller military. Now, we don't have any conscripts yet, but I'll fix that in a little while. Let's take a look at some of their laws. They're working on landed voting, so they are going for a more democratic Papal States. Fun stuff. Tuscany, what are you looking like? You are an absolute duchy. Okay, yeah, monarchy, autocracy, same as us. Sardinia, Piedmont, absolute monarchy, autocracy, same as us. So right now, it seems like most of the states on the Italian peninsula all share a similar ideology. Now, a question will be, should we look to liberalize? Could be fun. Is that what our king, King Ferdinando, would do? I don't know. We'll have to see. it will very much depend on the situation that leads us there. I'm going to go ahead, I think, and build up my logging industry on Sicily. So I'm going to actually go ahead and take that to the max. I think that'll be good. I would love to get the paper industry going here, as sulfur will help that. I would also love to get the shipbuilding industry going, although maybe that might be more for Naples. Well, they don't have a lot of logging camps in Naples either, but there are already shipyards and military shipyards, so alright. We are definitely going to need lots of wood. As you can see, we are running quite a deficit on that, so... But that should help. And upgrading our tooling so that... In fact, I'm actually going to push tools up the queue a little bit. Alright, mass communication is unlocked. I'm now going to go ahead and start researching stock exchange to go ahead and get a little bit of less bureaucracy per trade route. That'll be good because I will trade sulfur with the world. But the real thing I want is that market access price index, that mapping. I could come over here and get the lathe, but it's working on that on its own. I'm not super concerned. Napoleonic warfare would also be good. I will definitely need that, but I think right now focusing on economy, focusing on that market access price is the way to go. I'm also going to look to significantly expand our military. Oh, interesting. We had a notable figure retire. The leader of the landowners has retired. I'm going to go ahead and just merge these armies with just all into one. For now, I think that's probably the best way to go. Instead of having 3 armies, but 2 of them with basically no troops in them. Alright, in recognition of accomplishment, with the recent investment in Calabria, the raw goods industry has resulted in a positive balance for fishing wharves. Good for them. Interest groups are quick to try to claim credit for this achievement, and I mean, the credit probably should go to the industrialists, but I think, considering that we are an esteemed member of the landowners, that it's important to give us all the credit that we do deserve, even if it was, which was the industrialists who did most of the work. I'm going to go ahead and stop improving relations with Russia just because I'm running a negative balance on diplomacy. That's going to allow me... Oh, interesting. The Ionian Islands want an alliance. I am not going to do that. That's going to allow... Anyway, stopping improving relations with Russia not only clears up my negative diplomacy, but also gives me a chance to start improving my relations with members of the Italian peninsula. Alright, we have an agitator who's going to start a movement for homesteading. I wouldn't necessarily be that upset about homesteading. Let's take a look at it. And it's not going to pass, and it's going to radicalize the landowners. So actually, I am going to be upset about it because, well, one, I think that would cause a civil war at this point, and also, well, as a leader in the landowners, why would I want that? So, speaking of, I wonder if there are any other agitators. Oh, we already have one, so I guess that's all we can do for now. I guess this army didn't actually move, so let's try that again. Sometimes weird things happen with this game. Maybe I forgot to hit a button. It was probably that. Alright, and now all of our troops are right here in one grand Italian army that has quite the name. Oh my gosh. Now, listen, I'm no expert at army composition in this game by any means. Oh, French has announced its intentions towards its quote-unquote natural borders, so it might start demanding land from our friends up in Sardinia, Piedmont. And when I say friends, I mean friendly rivals. As I was saying, I'm no expert at military composition in this game. From what I can tell, though, line infantry is good for defense. Artillery is good for actually killing the pops in the other army, and cavalry is good for, and I'm going to go ahead and upgrade to I would love to upgrade to Lancers, but I guess oh yeah, because I don't have the Napoleonic warfare yet. But, so as I was saying, infantry is good for defense, artillery is good for actually destroying the opposition, and cavalry is good for offense. So in the early game, I know that cavalry is very important as offense is much stronger. However, that starts to change as we move into the later game, and we especially get trench infantry, in which case, I mean, what's cavalry going to do against men successfully dug in with machine guns, right? I think it might be time. I was going to start looking at, yeah, so I think after all these logging camps are done, I might go ahead and build, let's just say, I'm going to build 4 more frigates to get me up to 10 frigates, and 3 more man-o'-wars. I am going to go ahead and build them in Naples. We have some logging camps here, although the focus is not necessarily... Well, actually, for military ships, we do need No, we don't need hardwood. We will need hardwood when we go to steamships, but that is going to be a little while, isn't it? I'm going to go ahead and increase the logging camps because we are running a balance on wood, and it would be great to remedy that. I still have plenty of authority left. I could look at adding additional decrees, potentially promoting social mobility so that our pops can work in more jobs. However, really, I think I might look towards putting more consumption taxes on. Now, this is important. Sardinia Piedmont supports Italian unification. So the government of King Carlo Alberto di Savoia has signaled support for the unification of the Italian peninsula into a single nation. That's good. I want that. But what I don't want is him to do it. I want to be the one who does that. I'm going to go ahead and put wine as a consumption tax, and I'll do luxury furniture as well. Why not? Let's see, are there any diplomatic demands that I can do? I can make a protectorate. I mean, do I want to expand like that in Italy? I don't know. Maybe. Transfer subject? I don't know. They're not going to transfer Serbia to me. Don't want to do any regime changes. Liberate subject, liberate country. I mean, listen, I wouldn't necessarily oppose going to war with the Ottomans, but I think I'd probably lose at this point. After all, I barely have a navy. I only have 30,000 soldiers in my army. That's not amazing. But what I do have is a balanced economy, which is currently growing, so that is good. I'm going to use that as an opportunity to change in Calabria from wooden buildings to iron frame. Now that is going to send my economy spiraling, but it will absolutely... You know what? I'll go ahead and just do it in both places. It'll hurt us in the short term, but I think we'll be fine in the long term. We are going to be short on iron mines. But if we give these mines a few minutes to fully employ, we will see that number continue to go up, up, and up. And that will hopefully help us a little bit, although we're going to need an import route. I'm going to go ahead and import some from Prussia. And then I'm going to continue to build more and more iron mines. That's going to be a very important thing that I do. In fact, I'll probably end up... Well, let's take a look. Yeah, we're almost at full employment. I'm actually going to go ahead and build 5 more, and I'm going to move those right to the top of the queue, just because we need them. We need that cash. And of course, when I say cash, I mean cold, hard iron. Hey, stock exchange just unlocked. That's going to be good. That's going to help stabilize our prices across the country. I think I'm now going to go right into, not banking, but I'm going to go ahead and just click this to finish up lathes very quickly, and then probably go to the atmospheric engine just to help our iron mines out just a little bit more. Halcymer unlocked. Great. Greece is improving its relationship with us. Also, great. Lathe is unlocked, just like I said. That would happen very quickly. I'm now going to go to the atmospheric engine. I think there's probably an argument to go to mechanical tools here, but right now I'm not even really working with iron tools, much less ready for mechanical ones yet, so I'm going to go ahead and change that to wrought iron. Let's get this iron industry absolutely flowing. Textile mills are fully employed in Campania. That's good. I'm going to go ahead and just switch all of our tooling industry over to wrought iron tools. Now, we really don't have enough iron, but it is what it is. We will just have to keep producing, keep making more and more iron. It's kind of a running theme, especially the early part of this game. You absolutely cannot have enough iron. Looks like I have plenty of diplomacy, so let's go ahead and improve. Oh, let's definitely improve relations with Prussia, as well as Sardinia-Piedmont, and the last little Italian state, Moderna. And you know what, Greece, you were improving with me, I'll improve with you too. Now, does anyone want to come to our customs union? Oh, Tuscany, hello. Tuscany, welcome to the Two Sicilies Customs Union. Soon, we will have customs union over not just all of Italy, but much of the world. I very much like expanding with soft power, if you will, so customs unions and protectorates instead of just outright conquering everything. I just think that's more fun. And also, let's be real, more realistic. Since we have this logging camp already mostly done, I'm going to move it up so that it finishes very quickly, just to alleviate some of our wood problems. In fact, I might look to put an import route on wood. Now, what I really could be a good idea is declaring an interest in the Baltic, so that I can trade with Russia? Is that how that works? I don't know. I am definitely not a Victorian expert. Looks like France is continuing to expand in North Africa. Meanwhile, I am now going to try to import from... Can I import from Russia? No. Let me... Our iron is almost done, in which case we were then going to kind of convert our construction industry to full logging camps and naval bases. That's very exciting. Ooh. Pier Francesco has offered to spend some of their personal wealth to fund a university. Yes, absolutely. We look at our literacy. That flat out has to change if we are going to modernize at all. So honestly, I should be looking at producing more universities anyway. I would like to go to secular academia, but right now it is what it is. And do I have a paper mill here? I actually do. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and increase my university all the way to 2, or to 3. Clandestine groups of those sneaky academics are plotting against the state to advance the misguided cause of the intelligentsia. I'm not worried about the academics. Leave them, they pose no threat. Them and their silly ideas, academics. We are slowly working up the charts. We are now the 16th power in the world. Just a few more spots until we become, well, ideally we'll become great powers soon. I'd love to knock Spain out of the realm of the great powers and for me to take their place. After all, I am rivaled to my historical overlords, the Spanish. We are absolutely tearing through these logging camps, in which case we'll go right back to building more iron mines. Iron is super important. Let's see. Anyone else willing to join my customs union? Change to our customs union? No. Let's see, like, Greece. Why not? Alright, that makes sense. I get that. We're both minor powers, both minor powers, both minor powers, yeah. And Sardinia Piedmont has a GDP that is higher than 2 million, so. Now, if I could, here's the thing. Alright, if I can build up my navy so that it can take on Sardinia Piedmont, and I just park a convoy raiding navy right here onto this node, I can absolutely shutter their economy. That is something that if I have to do, I will do it. Although I'm not necessarily looking to fight with anyone in Italy. I'm a unifier. I'm looking to fight Austria. Ooh, the intelligentsia wants to pass freedom of conscience. I like that. I like that a lot. I don't necessarily enjoy having a state religion. My ruler, he's not pious. He's a colonial administrator. Alright, 10% colonials growth speed. I think that means that I kind of should just like come down into the Congo and start colonizing, shouldn't I? I mean, it won't hurt. So I guess I'll do that. And that's what he would do. He is a colonizer. So this character is skilled at running a colony. Cool. Let's grow those Italian colonies in Africa then. Interesting. Sardinia Piedmont comes at us with a defensive pact. And you know what? As I said, I know I just talked about absolutely shuttering their economy by blockading Sardinia, but yeah, I'll do it. And they want an alliance. Okay, yeah. What is Sardinia Piedmont's GDP? Is it anywhere near ours? No, but it will kind of rocket up as they continue to industrialize. Of course, ours will too. Ours will too. And in fact, I think I should go ahead and put some more coal mines in place. That's kind of bad that I haven't already done that. We are building naval bases right now. That's good, good, good. Having a large navy. I mean, we really do need a navy that can absolutely dominate the Mediterranean. We may not necessarily have a navy that can compete with the likes of Great Britain. And honestly, we may really struggle to ever build a navy that can compete with France. But we should be able to dominate, well, at least until we get the entire Italian peninsula unified. But we should be able to build a navy that can compete with Spain, especially in the Med, that can compete with any nation in Africa, that can definitely compete with the Ottomans. They currently have 33 ships, so our goal is to at least get more than that. Now, I also can get some prestige gain from having a large navy, so I mean, that's good as well. I don't, however, have enough military shipyards, because I have an input shortage. I need 20, and I currently have 5. Although I have a feeling that production is going to ramp up really soon. Alright, they are almost at... No, wait, that's not the right shipyard. This shipyard. Yeah, so production will ramp up. I'm not that worried about that yet. Oh, Great Britain started embargoing Brazil. That could be a big problem for Brazil. Let's take a look at some of how like North America is looking pretty standard. It's only 1843. We still have the United States of America. I've noticed that, at least in some of my recent playthroughs, the United States kind of falls apart and becomes a dictatorship. I hope that doesn't happen in this playthrough. I like seeing more historical, U.S. Yeah, Mexico looks pretty normal. South America is doing South America things. Oh, looks like we have, there's fighting in Paraguay. There's always going to be fighting in Paraguay. And the Great Qing and Russia are dominating Asia. I have one... Oh, listen, we've done such a good job in this first episode that they want to build a monument to us. They want to build a monument to us, the king. And you know what? In honor of ourselves, I'm going to do it. So we get 3% prestige for the next 5 years, but some of our pops become more radical. And with that said, with this new glorious monument built in honor of us, I'm going to go ahead and end the episode here. I usually like to keep them around 30 minutes. I've been Ben the Bold. You've been you. I hope you've had I hope you have enjoyed watching. I'm sure that you are also playing along on another screen, and I hope your game's going well as well. And with that said, I'll see you on the next one.